Hello, how are you, my dear little girls and boys of grade 5? I hope you're keeping fine. I have come once again, as I promised you, with my English lesson for you today. මගේ පහවසරේ grade 5 එකේ දුවලා පුතාලා ඔන්න බලාගෙන හිටියානේ ටීචර් ඉංග්‍රීසි ලෙසන් එක අරගෙන එනකන්. ඔන්න පුතේ ඕගලන්ට ප්‍රොමිස් කරලා ගියානේ ටීචර් ආපහු එනවයි කියලා. ඔන්න අද ආවා. Today we have to do our lesson number 7. We are in unit number 2. අපි ඉන්නේ පුංචි දුවලා පුතාලගේ pupils book එකේ unit 2 එකේ. Nature is our friend. That is our unit. අපි nature is our friend කියන unit එකේ ඔන්න අපි අද තවත් ලස්සන පාඩමක් එක්ක පුංචි දුවලා පුතාලව බලන්නයි ටීචර් මේ ආවේ. Now when you look at the lesson today, when you look at the screen, what can you see? There are some friends. There are some beautiful friends we have today in our lesson. What is the name of our lesson today? Who am I? Who am I? Mama කවුද? Who am I? Now today we are going to see who they are. මේගොල්ලෝ කවුද කියලා අපි අඳුරගන්න යනවා. Right now in your pupils book, you will find the answer for the question who am I? ඔන්න ටීචර් දැන් මේ විදියට පුතාලට who am I කියලා මේ lesson එකේ නම මේ විදිහට දාලා පුතාලට අරගෙන ආවේ ඇයි කියලා pupils book එකට ගියාම දුවලා පුතාලට බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. So now we are moving forward and we are going to start our lesson number 7 in unit number 2. Who am I? Let's go and have a look at that. Come. Now today we are going to learn about these animals. Now who are they? කවුද මේ අපි අද ඉගෙන ගන්න යන අපේ පුංචි යාළුවෝ ටික? They are all in our nature because we are talking about our nature. Nature is our friend. So I am going to show you and we are going to talk about animals and insects in the garden. So that is what we are going to talk about today. Teacher has brought you some colorful pictures to show you the animals and the insects that come to our garden. මොකද්ද පුතේ? Animals and insects in the garden. Animals කියන්නේ සත්තු. Insects කියලා කියන්නේ කෘමි සත්තු. එතකොට මේ අපේ වත්තට එන animals and insects in the garden. අපේ ගෙවත්තට එන, අපේ වත්තට එන කෘමි සත්තුයි අනිත් සිව්පා සත්තු අනිත් පුංචි සත්තු ගැන තමයි අද අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ. So I have a lot of pictures today. They all come to your garden. Now my little girls and boys who live in the village. ටිකක් ගමට වෙන්න ඉන්න මගේ දුවලා පුතාලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට නම් මේ හුඟක් මේ ටීචර් ගෙනල්ලා ඉන්න පෙන්නන්න ගෙනල්ලා තියෙන සත්තු මගේ පුතාලා දැකලා තියෙනවා. But some of my children who live in the town, right? They do not see all these animals very often. නිතරම මේ සමහරක් සත්තුන්ව නගර බදවේ ඉන්න මගේ දුවලා පුතාලට බලන්න නැහැ. ඉතින් ටීචර් පින්තූරුයි ඒගොල්ලෝගේ නම් අරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා දුවලා පුතාලට අද ඒ ගැන කතා කරන්න. I have brought the names of these animals as well. Now you all know their Sinhala name, so I thought I'm going to teach you their English name. So we are going to talk about in our lesson today about the animals and insects who come to our garden. Because in our pupils book we have to see who am I. Who am I is our lesson in our pupils book. Let's go there. But before that, we are going to learn the names of the animals that come into our garden. Right, now let's have a look at the first picture. Grasshopper. Grasshopper. කාටද පුතේ grasshopper කියලා කියන්නේ? පුතාලා දුවලා හොඳට දන්න සතෙක්. තනකොළ පෙත්තා. Now these are the animals in the garden. අපේ garden එකේ ඉන්නේ පුතේ zoo එකේවත් වෙන කොහේ හරි කැලේක එහෙම නෙමෙයි. අපේ ගෙවත්තේ අපේ garden එකේ අපිට නිතර දකින්න ලැබෙන සත්තු. These animals are not the animals that you found in the forest or in the jungle or in the zoo. They all come to your garden. They are in your garden. They live like the way you and me live. අපි ඉන්න විදියට මේගොල්ලෝ garden එකෙත් ඉන්නවා. And they are our friends, right? So because our unit 2 is all about the nature, now we will have a look at these little animals who come to our garden. First one is the grasshopper. තනකොළ පෙත්තා. තනකොළ පෙත්තට තමයි පුතේ grasshopper කියලා කියන්නේ. So this is the picture of a grasshopper, and that grasshopper you see in your garden most of the time. It is an insect. කෘමි සතෙක් grasshopper කියලා කියන්නේ. Then we have the bee. Bee. B-E-E. කාටද පුතේ bee කියලා කියන්නේ? bee කියලා කියන්නේ බී මැස්සට. bee. Very easy to write that word. B-E-E. Not like the way we write grasshopper. G-R-A-S-S-H-O-P-P-E-R. Grasshopper. Grasshopper is the name of the තනකොළ පෙත්තා. Then we have the bee. B-E-E-B. And after the bee, whom do we have? We have the frog. ඔන්න බලන්න පුතේ සමහර මගේ පුංචි දුවල පුතාලා නම් වැඩිය ගෙම්බොන්ට ආස නැහැ නේද? ටීචර්ත් ගෙම්බොන්ට වැඩිය ආස නැහැ. හැබැයි the frog is an animal who comes to our garden. The frog lives in our garden. So because we are learning about the animals in the garden, frog is one of them. Right? මෙන්න ඉන්නවා frog. F-R-O-G, frog. That is one of the animals who comes to our garden. Then look at the other animal. Look at this. Who is this? It's just putting his head out. It's a snake. කවුද පුතේ? ඔන්න සර්පෙක් ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නවා. සර්පයෝ ඉන්නවා නේද අපේ වත්තේ? Oh, there are snakes in our garden. But if you don't harm them, they will also not harm you. දුවල පුතාලා ඒ සර්පයන්ට කරදර කරේ නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ යනවා අපිට කරදර කරන්නේ නැතුව. So do not harm any animals. You are not to kill these animals. You are not to hit them. Just let them be in the garden peacefully, and you also just enjoy the sight of them and just let them be alone. අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරදර කරන්නේ නැතුව අපි ඒගොල්ලෝ දිහා බලලා අපේ පාඩුවේ අපි ඉන්නවා. Right? Okay. So we have the grasshopper, the bee, the frog, and the snake. Then who else do we have? We have the beautiful bug. ඔන්න පුතේ ladybug. පුංචි කුරුමිනියෙක්. Ladybug. Now these are the animals that are in the garden. We can very often see them. It is the ladybug. We call it the bug. B-U-G, bug. Right? So this is that beautiful, colorful picture. Who is this? It is the rabbit. Rabbit. Hava. සමහර වෙලාවට හාවෝ එනවා නේද පුතේ අපේ වත්තට. Rabbit. Now some of you have rabbits as pets as well. So they are in your garden. But sometimes rabbits come to our garden to eat grass and then they go away. Rabbit. So it's a very innocent animal, a very loving animal, a kind animal. What is it? It is the rabbit. R-A-B-B-I-T. Rabbit. You know the spelling now. Next one. Caterpillar. Caterpillar. Dalambua. Every time we see caterpillars in the garden, they keep on eating all our leaves, don't they? නේද පුතේ? caterpillarsලා ඔන්න අපේ තියෙන දුවල පුතාලගේ අම්මා ආදරෙන් වවන පුංචි පුංචි මල් පැල පුංචි පුංචි එළවලු පැල ඔක්කොම ටක් 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 ගාලා කනවා නේද අපේ පුංචි caterpillar දැලඹුවා. The caterpillar is also in our garden. It is one of our friends. Right? Don't kill them. අපි මෙහෙම අයින් කරලා දානවා caterpillars ලා මේ අපේ පැල කනකොට මරන්නේ නැහැ. Don't kill them, children. They are very innocent animals in the garden. They have to eat leaves. නේද? caterpillars ලා අපි වගේ fried rice එතකොට අනිත් දේවල් කන්නේ නෑනේ පුතේ. For them to live they have to eat leaves. So let them eat that and let them be alone. අපි ඒගොල්ලෝ දිහා බලලා සතුටු වෙලා ඉමු. හුඟක් අපිට කරදර කරනවා නම් අපි ටිකක් ඒගොල්ලන්ව ඈත් කරමු. Right? Okay. Then we have now the caterpillar. Look at the word caterpillar. C-A-T-E-R P-I-L-L-A-R. It's a long word with a lot of letters, but you have to practice. You have to learn the spelling. C-A-T-E-R P-I-L-L-A-R. Caterpillar. Can you see the way it's eating the leaf here, over here? That's right. Oh, then we have birds. We always see birds in our garden. Isn't that so? They come flying and they are in beautiful colors, beautiful feathers they have. And it's a beautiful sight to see birds coming to our garden. Birds, kurullo. Neda putte? B-I-R-D-S. Birds. That is how we write the word birds. Then we have, who is this? Iguana. Unna putala duwalata alut wachanayak. Iguana. Now that's a new word for you. Alut namak. Neda putte? Iguana කියලා කියන්නේ තලගොයාට. තලගොයා. Iguana is the name තලගොයා in Sinhala. අපි තලගොයාට කියන්නේ පුතේ iguana කියලා. දැන් මගේ හුඟක් දුවල පුතාලා ඒක දන්නේ නැතුව ඇති. right? ඉගෙන ගන්න වචනේ පුතේ iguana. I-G-U-I-G-U-A-N-A. I-G-U-A-N-A. Iguana කියලා කියන්නේ තලගොයාට. තලගොයාත් අපේ වත්තට එන සතෙක් නේද පුතේ? The iguana comes to our garden and then you can see the iguana loafing around in the garden. අපේ වත්තට ඇවිල්ලා යන සතෙක් තමයි iguana. ඒ කියන්නේ තලගොයා. Then we have the squirrel. Squirrel. කාටද පුතේ squirrel කියලා කියන්නේ? මෙන්න ඉන්නවා ලේනා. Squirrel. Squirrels are very, very sweet little animals who jump up and down, runs here and there in the garden, and we all love them. And it's very difficult to catch a squirrel. නේද පුතේ? අපිට හරි අමාරුයි මේ පුංචි ලේනේ කල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන් ද ලේසියෙන්. එහෙට දුවනවා මෙහෙට දුවනවා නේද? They keep on running and jumping up and down. So that is the squirrel. So now these are the, how do you spell the word squirrel, children? S-Q-U-I, S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L. S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L is the squirrel. So now we have a grasshopper, we have the bee, the frog, snake, bug, rabbit, caterpillar, birds, iguana, squirrel. ඔන්න මේ කට්ටිය අපේ garden එකට එනවා. There are some more animals who come to our garden. Let's go and see who they are. Otherwise they will be angry with us. Now here see. These are some of the other animals who come to our garden and who sometimes stays in our garden. Now look at the first one. Oh, it's a cow. Cows. Cow comes to our garden. Some of you have cows at home. They give us milk, right? So it's very nice to see the mother and the little baby calf. Can you see the picture? So it is the cow. C-O-W, cow. එළදෙන. අපි එළදෙන කියලා තමයි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ කවුට. Then we have porcupine. Now like the word iguana, who is the porcupine? Porcupine කියලා කියන්නේ ඉත්තෑවට පුතේ. ඉත්තෑව එනවා නේද අපේ garden එකට. Yes, in the morning you can see there these sharp pointed, they have like, it's just like feathers and they are pointed spikes. ඒවට කියන්නේ උල් වගේ නේද පුතේ? හරිම උල්. ඒ කූරු කූරු තියෙනවා. ඒවා උදේට බිම වැටිලා තියෙනවා. Right? Those spikes, they fall and you can see them in the morning in your garden. Right? They come in the night, eat little ants and eat little plants in our garden. Right? And then they go and hide. So what is the name? Porcupine. Porcupine. P-O-R-C-U-P-I-N-E. Porcupine. P-O-R-C-U-P-I-N-E. P-I-N-E. That is porcupine. Ittava. Then who is this? Oh, that is a very common animal, a common little creature in the garden. Who is this? Snail. ඔන්න පුතේ කාටද අපි මේ snail කියලා කියන්නේ? ගොළු බෙල්ලා. තුවල පුතාලා සිංහලෙන් ගොළු බෙල්ලා කියන්නේ snail. S-N-A-I-L. Snail. අපි snail කියලා කියනවා ගොළු බෙල්ලට. Right? Snail. When we learnt the alphabet, I think I told you there are snail letters. You just remind them. මතක් කරන්න snail letters කියලා අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි වල ඉගෙන ගත්තානේ නේද? එක ගානට ලියන අකුරු ඉහළ පහළ යන්නේ නැති ඒවා අපි snail letters කිව්වේ. That is the snail. Okay? Right. How do we write the word snail? S-N-A-I-L. Snail. You must learn the spellings, Puta. Okay? Right. Then we have the spider. Here we have the spider. Now some of you are scared of spiders. සමහර දුවල පුතාලා spiders ලට බයයි. Now what is spider in Sinhala? Makuluwa. Makuluwa. This is the spider. Can you see the spider web? මකුළු දැල spider web කියලා කියන්නේ පුතේ මකුළු දැලට. මකුළුවා මකුළු දැල් බැඳලානේ ඉන්නේ. They have a spider web. So how do you spell the word spider? S-P-I-D-E-R. S-P-I-D-E-R. Spider. Makuluwa. Then who is this? I hope you have seen this animal. Who is that? Mongoose. ඔන්න තව අලුත් වචනයක්. We learnt iguana, then porcupine. Now we have mongoose. කාටද mongoose කියලා කියන්නේ? මුගටියා. මුගටියා. මුගටියාට තමයි mongoose කියලා කියන්නේ. mangoose එහෙම නෙමෙයි අපි කන පළතුර mangosteen. mangoose නෙවෙයි පුතේ mongoose කියලා තමයි කියන්නේ අපි මේ මුගටියට. M-O-N. Mongoose. M-O-N-G-O-O-S-E. Mongoose. M-O-N-G-O-O-S-E. Mongoose. That is the mugatiya. Right? Now we have the spider, the mongoose. Then finally we have a very special animal in the garden who gives a lot of, who makes our compost and the soil very healthy, nourishing compost and earth is made by the worms in the soil and the earth. Worm, panuo. එන්න පුතේ පණුව අපේ පස සරු කරනවා නේද? So this is the worm. W-O-R-M. W-O-R-M. අපි worm කියලා කියන්නේ worm කියලා කියන්නේ. W-O-R-M කියලා තමයි ලියන්නේ. W-O-R-M. Worm. පණුව. Then at the end we have deer. කවුද deer කියන්නේ පුතේ? මුවා. Deer. Now in some of our villages we can see the deer coming to the garden. එනවා මුවෝ ඉන්නව නේද පුතේ? සමහර ඈත ගම් පළාත්වල මුවෝ ඉන්නවා කැලේට කිට්ටුව තියෙන ගම් වලට. ඔන්න එනවා මුවෝ. So this is the deer. How do we spell the word deer? D-E-E-R. Deer. D-E-E-R. Deer. So that is how we spell the word deer. Mua. Now who are the other animals that we learnt in this slide today? The animals who come to our garden. Just have a look at them. Cow. Eladena. C-O-W. Cow. Then we have the porcupine. The new word. Porcupine. Ittava. P-O-R-C-U-P-I-N-E. Porcupine. Then we have the snail. Golubella, S-N-A-I-L. All these animals come to our garden. Then we have the little insect, spider, Krumisatek spider, S-P-I-D-E-R, a tiny spider. Spider කියලා කියන්නේ මකුළුවා. Then we have the mongoose, right? Mugatia, M-O-N-G-O-O-S-E, mongoose. Then we have the worm, Panuwa, W-O-R-M. Then the last animal, the very innocent, deer, D-E-E-R, deer. So those are the animals that you see in the garden. So now we are going to move forward to our pupils book like this, and we will see what we have to learn in our pupils book. And I told you our lesson is all about who am I. So shall we go and see what it is? Who am I? Okay, now we have come to your pupils book. This is in your pupils book. You have to have your pupils book and the workbook with you. When you are coming for my lesson, you have to have both books with you. So we are doing our workbook activities after we learn from the pupils book. That is how we do. You know that, right? Okay, now children, these pictures are taken from your pupils book. දුවල පුතාලගේ pupils book එකේ මෙන්න මේ පින්තූරු ටික තියෙනවා පිටු දෙකක. බලන්න පුතාලා මේ වගේ pictures පුතාලට තියෙනවා 9ක්. There are 9 pictures like this in your pupils book. Okay? Right? There are these 9 pictures. So now I'm going to take you back to the first picture. The first picture in your pupils book. Now here what do you have to do? Read and match. ඔන්න පුතේ දැන් මෙතන පුංචි දුවල පුතාලට පේනවා අපිට මැච් කරන්න බෑනේ පුතේ අපිට අපේ pupils book එකේ පිටු දෙකක තමයි මේ pictures ටික තියෙන්නේ. පිටු දෙකකට. එතකොට අපිට මේක ඉරි ගහලා මැච් කරන්න බෑ පුතාලා දුවලා pupils book එක අරගෙන බැලුවා නම් lesson number 7 එකේ දුවල පුතාලට තේරෙනවා අපිට read and match කියලා අපිට rule එක තියලා match කරන්න බෑ because our pictures are in on several pages. We cannot use a ruler and match these pictures with the description and the name of the little animal they have given. අපිට පුතේ මෙතන තියෙනවා picture එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට තියෙනවා description එකක්. And then we have the name. මගේ දුවල පුතාලට ඉස්සෙල්ලාම දීලා තියෙනවා picture එක, ඊළඟට දීලා තියෙනවා ඒ සතා ගැන විස්තරයක්, ඊට පස්සේ තියෙනවා ඒ සතාගේ නම. දැන් අපිට පුතේ මේක rule එකකින් match කරන්න බෑ. So we are going to do that activity later after we learn about all these animals. So now I hope you can remember the name of our lesson is Who Am I? ඔන්න දැන් අපි who am I කියලානේ අපේ lesson එකේ නම පුතේ. එතකොට who am I කියලා කියන්නේ මම කවුද? Right? Now I want you to read. I want you to read all the details of the animals in your pupils book. අපි ඉස්සලා මුල ඉඳලම මේ තියෙන pictures වලට තියෙන description එක. ඒ සතා ගැන තියෙන විස්තරය අපි කියවලා බලමු. අපි කොහොමද මේ activity එක කරන්නේ කියලා. Right. Now we are going to start. Now this side you have the picture of the little animal who comes to our garden. The animal or the insect is given first. The picture is given first. And then we have the description about the animal and then we have the name. Then teacher පුතාලට කියවනකොට පුතාලට තේරෙයි කොයි විදියටද පුතාලගේ මේ pupils book එකේ මේ ටික තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Right. Now look at the first one. Who is this? කවුද පුතේ මේ ඉන්නේ? That is a bee. නේද පුතේ? අපිට මී මැස්සෙක් ඉන්නවා. This is the bee. Number 1. It is the bee. Now let's read and see what they tell us. And we will see whether it is about the bee. අපි කියවලා බලමු අපේ මී මැස්ස ගැනද මේ මෙතන විස්තරේ තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Let's see. Now here number 1. Then we have number 1 here. It walks slowly. It has a house on it. Now what is that? It walks slowly. හිමීට ඇවිදිනවලු. It has a house on it. එයාගේ ඇඟ උඩ එයාගේ ගෙදර තියෙනවලු. It walks slowly. It has a house on it. කවුද මේ? Now does this little bee walk slowly? මේ මී මැස්ස හිමීට ඇවිදිනවද? එයාගේ ඇඟ උඩ ගෙයක් තියෙනවද? නෑ. So that is wrong. So that they are talking about some other animal. Right? We will see. We'll read and see. Then we have the name of The animal that comes to our garden, bird. Bird. Now, do you see any similarity in these three things? ඔන්න මගේ දුවල පුතාලට මේ තියෙන තුන සමානයිද? Now, this is the bee and it says it walks slowly. It has a house on it. No. And bird. This is not a bird. It doesn't walk slowly and it doesn't have a house on his house on it. එයාගේ මේ කියන තුනම match වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So we will read the next one and see. Let's see. Who is this? It is a bird. Now we had the word bird over here. The name bird is here. Okay? Right. Now we have the picture of the bird here. Number 2. Number 1 picture is not the bird. It's the bee. But number 2 we have the picture of the bird. Then let's read the description and see. විස්තරය කියවලා බලමු අපි. It has 3 lines on its back. It has 3 lines on its back. එයාගේ පිටිපස්ස පැත්තේ ඉරි 3ක් තියෙනවලු. පිටේ ඉරි 3ක් තියෙනවලු. It comes to eat fruit in our garden. It comes to eat fruit in our garden. වත්තේ තියෙන පළතුරු කන්න එනවලු. The bird comes to eat fruits as well. But has the bird got any lines on its back? No. ඔන්න පුතේ දැන් අපිට bird ඉන්නවා. මෙතන කියනවා පිටේ ඉරි 3ක් තියෙනවා. එයා අපේ වත්තට පළතුරු කන්න එනවා කියලා. ඉතින් පළතුරු කන්න නම් bird එනවා. හැබැයි lines 3ක් පිටේ නැහැ. So let's see who has 3 lines and who comes to eat fruit from our garden. Let's see. There are so many other animals. So we'll read and see. We will find them all. Okay? And then we have the name bee. The name is bee, but the picture is the bird and the description is something else. ඔන්න දැන් ඔක්කොම mix වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. We have the bee, but the name of the bee is over here. We have the bird. Number 2, we have the bird. But here, the word bird is from letter A. Right? So, we will sort it out later. අපි හිමීට මේ ඔක්කොම ටික කියවලා හරියට අපි match කරලා ලියමු පුතේ. Let's move on to our next picture and see. Now look at this. Number 3. Now number 1 we had the bee. Number 2 we had the bird. Now number 3. Who is this? It's the grasshopper. It's the grasshopper. Now let's read and see whether this is correct. It is an insect. It is an insect. It is small and green. Is that right? It is small and green. It has 2 antennas. 2 antennas. Now we write antenna like this and then we write antenna in a different way. What are the antennas that this little insect has? That is green color. Can you see? ඉන්න මේ දෙකට තමයි antennas කියලා කියන්නේ. So the description is right. We have the grasshopper, which is an insect, and the color is also green and it's small and it has 2 antennas. That's right. But then what about the name? The name says, let us see, squirrel. Is that a squirrel? No, that is wrong. It's a grasshopper. So that is also wrong. We have to put them in the correct order. We'll read and see. There are some more pictures. Number 4. Who is this? It is the frog. The frog, Gemba, right. It collects nectar from the flowers. මල් වලින් පැණි ගන්නවලු. ගෙම්බ මල් වලින් පැණි බොනවද පුතේ? නෑ. We'll read and see. It collects nectar from the flowers. It lives in a hive. මී වදයකලු ඉන්නේ. What is a hive? මී වදය. So who collects nectar from flowers and lives in a hive? මී වදයක ඉන්න මල් පැණි ගන්නෙ කවුද? It is the bee. Right? We have the picture of a bee, but it is not number 4. We will see what it is. Right? Then we have the name for this picture, snail. Snail. කාටද පුතේ snail කියලා කියන්නේ? ගොළුබෙල්ලා. This is not the snail. So there we have to put them in the correct order. Now they are all mixed up and we are going to match them and write. We have some more pictures to see. Now number 5 and number 6. Look at number 6. It has no legs. It lives in the soil. It has no legs. එයාට මුකුත් කකුල් මුකුත් නැහැලු. It lives in the soil. පස් යටලු ඉන්නේ. කවුද ඒ? මුකුත් කකුල් නැති පස්වල ඉන්නේ කවුද? පණුවා. It is the worm. But what is the name? The name is frog. And the picture is snail. So they are all mixed up. We will sort it out. Now number 6. Number 6, look at this cute little rabbit. Right? We'll read the description and see. It has wings. Oh, rabbits don't have wings. It can fly. Rabbits can't fly. I don't think any rabbit can fly. They can jump and run. Okay? So this description says it has wings. පිහාටු තියෙනවා, තටු තියෙනවා. It can fly. It has a beak. It has a beak. හොටක් තියෙනවලු. So what is it? Who is it? It is a bird. Right? We'll see whether the name is correct. We have the name worm. Worm. Panua. Right. So we will read. We will go to our next pictures. There are other pictures that we have to read and see. So we will look at that and then we will see how we are going to match them. Now here we have the spider. The spider is over here. It has a green body. Oh, it has a green body. It jumps high up. It lives in a pond. It has a green body. ඇඟ කොළ පාටයිලු. It jumps high up. උඩට පනිනවලු. It lives in a pond. Pond එකේ පොකුණෙලු ඉන්නේ. කවුද? Who is that? That is the frog. So we will see whether the name is correct. No. Letter G. Grasshopper. Grasshopper is not this picture nor the description matches with the word. So we will sort it out. Next, number 8. Look at this. The squirrel. එද පුතේ? කවුද? අපේ ලේනා. Squirrel. It lives in a web. මකුළු දැලක ඉන්නවලු. It eats insects. Oh. එයා කනවලු පුංචි පුංචි කෘමි සත්තු. Now, who is the little animal who lives in a web? It is the spider. The spider lives in a web and it eats insects. Then what is the name here? Snail. Okay, we have the names separately. We have the picture separately and the description separately. We will put them all together later. Right, now let's have a look at our last little animal we have who comes to our garden. Oh, look at this beautiful little caterpillar, right? The little worm, the little worm. No hands, nothing, and look at him smiling. It lives in the soil. It has long ears. Oh, දිග කම් දෙකක් තියෙනවද? It likes to eat carrot. Who likes to eat carrot? It's the rabbit with the long ears and it likes to eat carrot. Then we have the name spider. Okay, now we have the name spider here. We have the description and the picture. Now what are we going to do? We are going to put them all in the correct order. Right. Let's do it like this. Now number 1. In our number 1 picture, whom did we have? We had the bee. Who is this? It is the bee. Then අපි ලියනවා bee කියලා. What is the name of this little insect? It is the bee. Now we have to match them. No, you have the picture, then you have to write the name of the little fellow, the little animal and the insect. Then we will write the number of the description given to them. Now what is the name of the little insect we have here? It is the bee. How do we write the word bee? B-E-E, bee. Now we have to find the description for the bee. Right? Can you remember we had a description saying it drinks nectar from the flowers, it lives in a hive. එහෙම කියලා එකක් තිබුණා නේද පුතේ? So now we are going to write the description like this. It collects, C-O-L-L-E-C-T-S. It collects nectar. Nectar from the flowers. From the flowers. It lives in a hive. මීවා දෙකනේ පුතේ ඉන්නේ. It lives in a hive. H-I-V-E. Right? It collects nectar from the flowers. It lives in a hive. Now we are moving on to our second picture. Now who is in our picture? Number 2. It is the bird. Now how do we write the word bird? B-I-R-D. Bird. Now what is the description for the bird? I think you can remember. We said it has wings, it can fly. Can you remember? Okay, we will find the description and then we will write it in the line. Right, now we have the description of the bird. What does it say? It has wings. තටු තියෙනවා. It can fly. පියාඹන්න පුළුවන්. It has a beak. එයාට හොටක් තියෙනවා. So that is what we are going to write as the description for the bird. It has wings. It has wings. පුතාලට මේක පොතේ තියෙනවා. ඔගොල්ලෝ මැච් කරන්නයි ඕනේ. දැන් පිටු දෙකක තියෙනේවා මැච් කරන්න අමාරු නිසා තමයි පුතේ ටීචර් මෙන්න මෙහෙම ලියලා පෙන්නන්නේ. පුතාලට බුක් එකේ මේ description එක එහෙම තියෙනවා. It has wings. It can fly. Can the bird fly? Yes. It can fly. It has a beak. එයාට හොටක් තියෙනවා. It has a beak. Right. So that is the description about the bird. The picture, we have the bird, then we have the word, the name of the picture, then the description. විස්තරය තියෙනවා. Then the third one. This is the grasshopper. Grasshopper. So now we are going to write the word grasshopper. Grasshopper. Right. Now can you remember the description? It said it's green color, small. Can you remember? Now we are going to go and find that. We will find the description and we will write. Right. So now we have found the description of the grasshopper. What is the description? කොහොමද grasshopper ගැන විස්තරය කියලා තියෙන්නේ? It is an insect. It is small and green. It has 2 antennas. Right? So now we are going to write that. It is an insect. Now let's write the description. It is an insect. An insect. Because letter I is a vowel letter, you have to say an insect. It is an insect. It is green and small. Green and small. Then what do they have? It has two, මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? 2 antennas. It has 2 antennas. Right. So that is the description of the grasshopper. We have the picture, then we have the name of the grasshopper, and we have the description. It is an insect. It is green and small, or you can say small and green. It has 2 antennas, right? So this is how you write the description of this little insect over here. So now let's move on to our next slide, and we will complete the other names and the descriptions of the other animals who come to our garden, right? So that is how we are going to learn who they are. Next, we have the frog. Number 4, we have the frog. How do we write the word frog? F-R-O-G. F-R-O-G, frog. Now can you remember the description? It has a green body. It can jump high. It lives in the pond. That is how our description went. Can you remember? Right? Okay, we are going to write that now. Right, we will write that now. It has a green body. Is that right? It has a green body. Anga kola paatai. It can jump. It can jump up high. It can jump up high. Where does it live? It lives in the pond. It lives in a pond. That's right. So that is our friend frog. This is the frog. It has a green body. It can jump up high. It lives in a pond, right? So you have to write the correct name and the correct description for the picture. Then it's number 5. Who is this? It is the snail. The snail. S-N-A-I-L. Snail. How do we spell the word snail? S-N-A-I-L. Now what was the description? Can you remember? It walks very slow. It has a house on it. Can you remember? එහෙම නේද පුතේ තිබ්බේ? හිමීට ඇවිදිනවලු. එයාගේ ඇඟ උඩ එයාගේ ගෙදර තියෙනවා. Right, now we will write the description of the snail. It walks slowly. It walks slowly. It has a house on it. එයාගේ පිට උඩ තියෙනවා ගෙදරක්. It walks slowly. It has a house on it. Then next we have number 6. Now who is this? It is the rabbit. How do we write rabbit? R-A-B-B-I-T. Rabbit. This is the rabbit. Now what is the description of the rabbit? It has long ears. It likes to eat carrot. Can you remember? It has long ears. It likes to eat carrot. Carrot කන්නනේ පුතේ. හාවෝ ආස නේද? It has long ears. It likes to eat carrot. Okay, now look at the frog. Number 4, the frog. It has a green body. It can jump up high. It lives in a pond. That is the description. Then we have the snail. S-N-A-I-L. It walks slowly. හිමීටයි ඇවිදින්නේ. It has a house on it. right? Then number 6, rabbit, R-A-B-B-I-T. It has long ears. It likes to eat carrot. So we have completed this slide as well. Right, then, we have the spider. Makulua, the spider. We will write the word spider, S-P-I-D-E-R, spider. Oh, now can you remember the description of the spider? What is the description of the spider? It lives in a web. It eats insects. It lives in a web. එයා කොහෙද පුතේ ඉන්නේ? මකුළු දැලේ. It lives in a web. Web කියලා කියන්නේ මකුළු දැලට. මොනවද එයා කන්නේ? It eats insects. දැලේ පැටලෙන පුංචි කෘමිසත්තුන්ව තමයි එයා කන්නේ. It lives in a web. It eats insects. So that is about the spider. The name spider, it lives in a web. It eats insects is the description for the spider. Then we have our little squirrel. Squirrel. How do we write the word squirrel? S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L. Squirrel. S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L. Now, what is the description of the squirrel? So now we will write the description like this. It has 3 lines. Can you remember? It has 3 lines. It has 3 lines on its back. On its back. It comes to eat fruit from the garden. Now you know what the description is, okay? Description එක පුතාලා දන්නවනේ මොකද්ද මේ ලේනා ගැන තිබිච්ච විස්තරය කියලා, right? So it has 3 lines on its back and it eats fruit, so that you know. Then we have our last picture. What is this? Who is this? It is the worm, Panua. It said it has no legs. It lives in the soil. So how do we write the word worm? Worm. This is a different way that we can do this activity, okay? Worm. Now, how do we write the description? It has no legs. It lives in the soil. It lives in the soil. පස්වල තමයි ජීවත් වෙන්නේ. Right. So now we have written the names of the animals and then the description of the animals. Right? So we have completed your pupils book activity. It says read and match. So you can do it in school with your teacher the way she asked you to do it. So I just brought it like this with the picture and the name of the description. So now we have completed that. Right. Now we have come to our workbook activity. Now we can do it very, very quickly because you know the spellings very well now. ඔන්න දැන් ටීචර් හිතනවා මගේ පුතාලට හොඳට spellings මතක ඇති කියලා. Then we learnt about the animals and the insects who come to our garden, and now it's time for us to write their names. Okay? Right. These animals come to our garden. Who are they? Now you have learned the names, then you know the description of the animal, and now we have come to our workbook activity to complete it with writing the names of the little animals who come to our garden. Who are they? Now we are going to write their names. Now who is this? No legs. They live in the soil. Can you remember? In the pupils book we learned? Right. So now who is this? Who am I? Mama කවුද? ඔන්න ඒකනේ අපේ පාඩමේ නම. Who am I? Now who is this? It is the worm. How did we write the word worm? W-O-R-M. Worm. W-O-R-M. Worm. පණුවට කියන්නේ worm කියලා. This is how you write the word worm. Then who do we have next? Now he is asking, who am I? ඔන්න අහනවා. මම කවුද? It has 3 lines on its back. Can you remember? It eats fruit from our garden. Who is this? Right? It is the squirrel. That's right. S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L. Squirrel. S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L. Squirrel. That is how we write the word squirrel, spelling the word squirrel. Then, who is this? The animal who is here. We all love him so much. It is the rabbit. How do we write the word rabbit? R-A-B-B-I-T. Rabbit. R-A-B-B-I-T. Rabbit. Okay, we had the worm, W-O-R-M, worm. Then we have the squirrel, S-Q-U-I-R-R-E-L, squirrel. Then we have the rabbit, R-A-B-B-I-T. Okay, we have written 3 names of 3 animals who come to our garden. We have some more animals. Now they are in your workbook, so you have to turn to that page and we are going to write the names like this. Now who is this? It has a green body. It can jump up high. It is the frog. That's right. How are we going to write frog? F-R-O-G. Frog. F-R-O-G. It's easy to write. F-R-O-G is the way that we spell the word frog. Then who is that? That also has a green body. A green little insect. Who is that? It is the grasshopper. Grasshopper. G-R-A-S-S. Grasshopper. H-O-P-P-E-R. Grasshopper. G-R-A-S-S-H-O-P-P-E-R. Grasshopper. Tanakola petta. That is how you write. Now, if you know the spellings, you can write it very easily like this. There are little boxes for you to write each letter. So, you can do it very easily if you know the spelling. So, you have to study. Next, who is this? It is the bird. Now, you all know how to write the word bird. B-I-R-D. Bird. B-I-R-D. Now, please remember, when you write the word B and D, you cannot make any mistakes. B yakurai, D yakurai, patala ganna නැතුව ලියන්න ඕනේ පුතේ. B-I-R-D, bird. Okay? Now, first we have the word frog, F-R-O-G. Then we have grasshopper, G-R-A-S-S-H-O-P-P-E-R, grasshopper. Then we have bird, B-I-R-D. We have some more little animals who come to our garden. And they are, let's see, right. Now, here we have that little creature who lives in a web. That is the spider. Spider. S-P-I-D-E-R. Spider. S-P-I-D-E-R. Spider. මකුළුවා. අර තියෙන්නේ පුතේ මකුළුවාගේ පින්තූරේ. Spider. S-P-I-D-E-R. Then we have the bee. Bee. Me massa. B-E-E. That's a very easy word. Bee. B-E-E. Bee. Me massa. Then who is our last animal? It is the snail. The snail. How do we write the word snail? S-N-A-I-L. Snail. Right. Now, who is our last creature who comes to our garden? It is the snail. Golubella. S-N-A-I-L. Snail. Right. So, the three animals we have on this slide is the spider. S-P-I-D-E-R. Spider. Then we have bee. B-E-E-Bee. And then we have snail. S-N-A-I-L. Snail. Right. So doing this workbook activity, we have come to the end of our lesson today. Right. We completed lesson number 7. Who am I? So now we spoke about the little animals and the little insects that comes to your garden. We spoke all about the animals who come to our garden. They make our nature very beautiful, and as we spoke about the worm, it nourishes the soil, right? So they all help us in so many ways to keep our nature clean and beautiful, and that helps our trees and plants as well. And they make our nature, our surrounding very beautiful. So now it's the time to end my lesson. Next is my lesson number 8. So I'm going to come back very soon with my next lesson. So until I see you again, you have to practice all these words, learn the spelling, and learn how to write the words properly. Okay? So I hope you learned very well all the things that I have taught you today. Until I see you again, bye.